Good morning, everybody. All right, early. um, First of all, I want to apologize for yesterday with the mixed media video. I did that early, and I uploaded it, and it uploaded. But the way it works is I have to do the video, and then I have to upload it to YouTube, and then YouTube processes it. And usually it takes a long time to upload, and the YouTube processing usually is about half the amount of time, sometimes about the same. But yesterday, that YouTube processing just took forever, so that video come out late. Also, the coloring of the foiled impression that I had, that was supposed to have been released the day before. And probably later on today, I'll do a video where I kind of explain what's been going on and why I've had so much confusion. But I will do that. Maybe not. It just depends how I'm doing later. But I don't want to start the day off that way. But anyways, it is time to do a template library video. I've not done one in a while. It's been like 2 weeks, which is a while because, but it is the last book. It is the last auto ship, the red. And so I am on number 3. And this one I've kind of skipped around, even though I said I wouldn't do that. I wanted to go straight 1-1-1-1. But with the holidays and, some of them just look like, okay, I need to do this one because this looks like fun and all of that. I thought, yeah. But anyways, we are on number 3, which is the Twisted Easel. And I really thought I was farther along, and I have done some videos that are farther along, but I looked at this and I thought, I don't recall doing this one. So here we go with the number 3 Twisted Easel. And so I have quite a few new subscribers right now, and I'll just explain to you when I'm doing this. I emboss it, meaning I trace it with an embossing tool. That way I don't have to worry later on about coming in and erasing lines and scoring, because I've already scored it with the embossing. So, yeah. So this is what I do. Works for me. Of course, everybody's going to do what works for them. And that's what you need to do, is what works for you. I like this way. So I'm going to, I have, now, when I first started out the series, I would have gone ahead and embossed the whole thing, all of it. Because to make sure everything lines up right, because if you're using a pencil, something very narrow, and you're at one edge of this, but over here you're at the inside, say you're at the outer edge, and this one you're at the inner edge, you might be off. Even that little tiny bit can make a difference. But I have found that if I just go ahead and line it up right, and it's lined up good, now I don't have no issues, and that saves me from embossing and cutting. And it's also a straighter cut than I'm going to get. So I like to keep track of where I'm at, because it's embossing. It does not leave the pencil mark. And so usually I do the outside first. Ugh. My tool keeps falling out of the stencil. Okay, so I've got the outside done. And now I want to score all these inside lines. And so normally I would work this way or this way. I would go just go in a certain direction so that I'm not missing lines. And I still have missed lines. So this one has one long line going down the center, and I'm going to go ahead and emboss that and get that one done. And now I'm going to work this way. So you have to make sure you're not putting in your matte layer lines. Those are separate. You need to do them separate. You just want the score lines or the cut lines. And the way to know that is, this is labeled valley fold. That means that's a score line. And so I can take this line and score it. There's little joins here that is still the same line. It's just that they have to put that in. Otherwise, you're going to have a bunch of pieces and none of it's going to make any sense. Okay. All the rest of these are matte layers. These inside lines all belong to this matte layer. And then this says cut line. So I know I need to do that. Okay, then I'm coming this way, and I'll look, and this is mats and layers, and that's this line. This whole square is a matte layer. But here it says valley fold, and that's referring to this line here, this bottom line. So I'm gonna score that. And now I have another cut line, and I'm going to score that. Emboss it. And then this says valley fold, and no more does it say matte layer, so I know for sure this line is the one. You have to watch out for those matte layers. You don't want those marks on your paper, right on your, you don't want those marks on your project, let's put it that way, because it's a matte. I'm gonna have to grab this other. Oh, a bunch of stuff just fell out of there. Uh-oh. Okay, and now I'm just gonna cut it out, and I'm cutting on the lines I just kind of embossed. And sometimes they're easier to cut than a pencil drawn one. If you can get yourself in that little wedge, sometimes it helps. Not always, but sometimes it helps you stay straight if you stay inside the little groove there. If you've drawn it with a pencil, you don't get that groove. And see, like right now, that's helping. That groove was deep enough. It helped right there. Okay, and so now what I'm going to do is look back at my stencil thing. Do they call it a stencil? No, they call it a template. And I'm going to look at which ones are the cut lines. And I've got to turn it that way. So this is a cut line here. So I'm going to cut. Yeah, it's in the middle, so the whole thing should be a cut line. Even though that's not making a lot of sense to me. And this one also says cut line. So now we have our folds. So these are all valley folds. And really a valley fold just means it's going one direction. and some of the other lines will go another. This one, these all say valley fold. So really, just fold it. It's all gonna just fold in one direction. But this says valley fold. How is that? Okay, I get it. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, and you look at it and you're like, that doesn't make sense. But see how my lines are already scored? I didn't have to go to a scoreboard. Valley fold. So it's all going to be folded the same direction. Now, if this said mountain fold, then I would take and fold this way, which is what I thought I was going to be doing, but no, it says valley fold. So in this also says valley fold, which means it's going to fold the same way. Okay. So these all are going to be, this is how you have the triple easel. There's your easel. So these would all fold down, right? They would all fold down. And then when the recipient gets it, they fold up. But now we have to have our lines, our mats and layers. The triangle, I guess, is to go on here. I wouldn't even. I guess you would, because they're going to close it. But basically, what I'm going to do is do 3 of the squares, because if you look here, they've got the squares. Down here, they've got the little things to hold it. But if you look, they didn't give us that pattern. See? But they did give us a small rectangle instead. So that's okay. We can use that. I'm going to get another piece of the paper, as I don't know, or maybe it will fit. Yeah, it's gonna fit in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 of these. And these are I wanna do the large one, which is the outer. It says embellishment on here, when it probably should say mat and layer. But I'm gonna do the large outer one. There is a way to do it even larger, but I don't know how it will work with the folding. So I'm going to stick with theirs, and we can find out later how much room we actually have. So now I have this, and I'm going to do this in the white also. But I need 3 of them for the 3 fold up. See? 3. 1, 2, and 3. So there's 1. And I'm going to come over here and do, line that up, and I'm doing this outside one. So this will be the second one. Now if you want to go ahead and cut one out and then trace the next one and cut that out, then you can take this line and put it on the other line, and you would only have to cut 2 lines. I want to go ahead and do my embossing first, and so I'm just going and I'm making sure I'm clearing that, because I sure don't want to emboss along that line. And one of the things I've been doing is you line that line up with this outside line, and that way you know you've passed it up. Look, I got a end right here. So only one of them's in the, otherwise I'm just gonna have to cut these. And I was able to do it with the same sheet of paper. I'm happy with that. Now I will cut these out. And again, try to get in that groove. And it really does make a difference to being able to stay in and be straighter. Now I have seen some of the makes where they say, people are going on and saying they emboss it through their machine, and I know you can do that. I have not done that. I haven't even tried it. Because at this point, this was something that people that didn't have a machine could do. And I thought, well, let's keep it that way. Now, once I get through the set, I'll probably try it. I'll try different things on different cards. So if I can get in that groove, there's two, and now for that third one. Okay, so these will all go on here. And I'm sorry, but that is not big enough. They show it. So what they're doing in this picture, and you only can see the one side, right? Because you can see there, look, that's the fold. That's what they use. So they went up from that. This one, you can't see that up there because this is QR code. So they have kind of done it like this, but then, okay, so that works. That works. So it's definitely a mat. So what I'm gonna see, this makes it a little hard to figure out. So I'm gonna go from one side to the other side with the glue, or one corner to the other corner. That makes sense. So because this is double-sided white, I don't have to worry about what side. I'm gonna just put it from one corner to the other corner and put it on where that lines up. And then I'm gonna make sure it still closes nice and neat, and yes it does. Okay. So there's the first layer on that one. I'm gonna do the same here. Now if you've got a color, it's just one-sided, make sure you have, the glue on the right corner. Because if it's a pattern, your pattern's gotta be running the correct way. See, if this had been a pattern paper and I had it this way, like my glue's gonna be on the wrong side. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But I don't have to worry about it because it's the same on both sides. I didn't have to worry about what side I was putting that glue on. So I'm just going to make it where. And you might want to bring them down. Do it that way. That way you can make sure that they're all going to line up. Right? Because your recipient's going to get it this way. So I'm just going to do half of it. Half. And lay them all down and line this up. It's got to go down. All right. Line that up. Now, we have our triple twisted, because there's the twist, easel. So now all we have to do is add some decorations to it, and it's actually way easier than I thought it would be. So I'm going to do this. Might not be the right way to do it, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this I wonder if I'm doing the wrong thing. Maybe I need to... Oh well, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and hit that corner. And I'm going to do the small one. Once you know what you're going to end up with, it is easier. So it's easier to see the makes, and then you know what you want and don't want to do. Okay, can I go to this corner? Yes. So I line it up here. And I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. And do my third one on there in a minute. Let me put my lid on my glue so it doesn't. Alright. Alright, and even if you want to, you can. Some of these papers are a little hard to see the score line. Now I can actually fold that and cut on that fold. Oh, I gotta see that score line. I probably should have cut it the other direction. This paper is thinner, so it's easier. I know what I'll do. I'll do this. And this will go on here. And then I do one of the circles. And I'm going to look and see if that circle will fit in this smaller piece. And it's going to be pretty tight here. We'll see what it looks like when it's done. That ruined that. I don't think I can get it back on. I don't think I can find it. Alright, let me try that. Let's see. No. Well, it's not even worth fighting it. It would have worked, I think, if I could have kept it steady, which was my bad. Now, here is the other thing. These papers are very thin. And if I really want to, I can really get into this. And it's going to kind of rip it. And that's going to give me a different edge. Maybe not a good idea since I was so close to the edge here, but I didn't get in there enough. But it will. I've done it. So. What's nice is when you can really get into it like this with shapes like circles, because circles are a little more complicated to cut than a square, and you can see I got out of that groove. I can kind of feel when I get out of that groove. So, this is where I got out. Some people can't do it this way because of the their vision. And so for that, you just are going to have to do what you can do. So I did one circle and the two squares. So don't forget the recipient is going to get it in an envelope like this, right? So it all has to match here, but it's also going to come up this way. So at least with this one, you don't have to worry about where it's gluing here and stuff because you already got that one base down. So this is going to go on the whole thing, and I'm just going to line it up and glue it down. So we do that. Okay. Once it's glued down, it's easier because I can look and see on the next ones where it kind of needs to be. So I'm not going to do the circle yet, but I'm going to come in with this one, and I'm going to try to get the next one lined up about the same as that one. So, I mean, some people are going to bring out their rulers and their T-squares, and you can do that. And if I honestly don't know how to use one, I want my pattern going in the same direction, depending on the pattern, that can be very important. Okay. And I hope that looks lined up. It looks pretty lined up to me. And then the circle is going to basically be just centered as much as possible. Okay. All right, so now it's going to be like this. But here's where we come to some problems, because they all have to have a stopper. All of them. They have to have a stopper. Now, what I'm going to try to do, you really need your stopper to be built up to hold it. But these are pretty tight, which is pretty nice. So because I want it to lay pretty flat so that it goes nicely in an envelope, I want to go kind of flat. So here's what I'm going to do. I mean, it can't be real flat. Like, I can't put this down here straight down and expect, well, it is. But it won't with this one. Well, maybe it would if it was back far enough. Let's see. No, see, that's going to come right over it. So, my thing for this is, let's get this little thing here. And I need 3 of them in the flowers. So I'm going to line that up. This is not going to have to be perfect. You're going to want the rectangle, right? But it doesn't have to be exactly this size. It can be whatever size. You want a little thing here, you put a little thing there. But I'm going to stick with theirs. And I'm going to cut this one. Okay, and I'm gonna take, okay, I'm gonna cut this piece off right here, works perfect. And I'm gonna fold this, because what I wanna do is cut these 2 out, the last 2 out. I wanna line this up here, make that straight, so I don't have to cut that line. Okay, so I'm gonna come to the straight line. come up a little bit. And I'm going to cut. Just use that square as my guide. No, that's not true. Just use that rectangle as my guide. Now I'm looking and that line is not straight, so I'm going to straighten that. There we go. Now I have 3. Right, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do 3 of these. Now this one, I am not going to try. This paper's thick, so I'm not going to try to cut out more than one at a time. That, now for here, oh, that is too big. Too big. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut these other ones out, and then I will shorten them. I will make them smaller. Oh, no. Okay, so now I need to make them. See, I could put that there. But that's going to block that one, which would still be okay. No, I don't want it that big. Now I see why they went with the oval. I helped to keep it out of the way, but they didn't give us an oval. So I think it's just gonna have to lay over, and that's gonna have to lay on top of it. That's all right. So I'm gonna glue these together. And you can do them at layers. I'm just doing it plain because of the video. This is gonna hold this. It is. It'll hold it. What I need to do is get these all the same size. So I'm gonna cut these all the same size. Let me glue this one together. Now this one may be a teeny bit bigger than this one because I used the edge of this to cut. And that adjusts the size, just the tiniest bit, but it does adjust the size. So to stay truer to the size, and put this one down, excuse me, and pick this one back up and use this again as the one that I'm cutting from. Does that make sense? It might not. It might be the same size. But I just feel safer not taking that chance. And just in case, always use your first one over again. Don't go to the next, to the next, to the next. Because by the time you're done, you'll find yourself way off and you'll be like, what happened here? Right? Okay. So these ones, more than likely, are going to be held back by these because they're tight. Right? But this one, okay, let's just do this. This one is probably not. It might. I'm going to go ahead and glue these down the way they are and see what happens. Just this card, this Crafter's Companion card, which is why I got so much of it, is 300 GSM. It is a good weight. It's why I like it so much. It's very good for card bases. It's good for this kind of stuff. It's good for construction, boxes and things. It just has some weight to it. So I do really like it. Now I want to try to get those about the same. I think right there will do it. I'm always using my fine tip, and I'm going to end up with that other one not being that great. One other thing to remember, let me bring this over. Ugh. Not too late. Very good. Not too late. Okay, so that's holding those two. What I need to know is holding this one, if this one will hold. Well, those two are kind of holding it. So maybe I just need to center that because these two are holding it. Hey, maybe that's the way to do it. And then you have all of this to write anything you want to write or, you know, put in there whatever you want. It could be big, small, whatever. I'm gonna, oh, I got this. I might as well just put it down here. But I'm gonna leave it farther out so it makes sense. It looks good right there. Okay. And now, so the recipient gets it, right? Assuming that they know what to do, because they might open it up and go, oh, what is this? And not have a clue. But if they do, then there we go. So for some reason, those didn't hold it that time. There it goes. They're holding it. They're holding it. Another thing, if you look here, mat and layer here is going to make a big difference. I did not do that because I'm doing a video and there are some time restraints and you don't need to see me mat and layering and doing all of that, but I do want to come in and do some, I don't know, some somethings on here. Oh, I could make it smaller, but yeah. No. Let's see. This is very pretty. This could go on the middle one. And then these. Where are the other layers to this? Oh, here we go. I need to get making more of these embellishments. I got quite a few done, and that's not what I want. It looks like I'm missing pieces. Well, I'm just doing this so I can give you a little, some kind of something here. Clean these out all the way. A lot of times I just do the card base and don't even do the embellishments, but I just thought this time, there we go. Just to go like that. And this glue dries clear, so I'm not too worried about it showing through. But that doesn't even want to move, it just wants to stay there. There we go. So this fine tip, I don't think is as fine as a lot of other fine tip, and I'm gonna probably do a comparison. Oh. Stick that on there. Stick this on here. I wish I had some butterflies. This, I'm not using this one. It doesn't match. It doesn't match any of it. None of it matches any of it. Okay. No. See, I was gonna get some of these. In here. Wow. That's not even gonna work. Okay, here's what I'll do. I do. This might help to tie everything in. Okay. Weed out these little pieces. Sometimes I don't weed them because I think they're stronger if we leave that stuff in until we're ready to use them and put them together. So that's why you'll see sometimes I have stuff stored and it'll still have them pieces in it. That's why. I'm just trying to keep them safer. It could just, not matter, not make a difference. But I just like to try kind of, oh, I didn't put this one down right. So let me see that way. Maybe there we go. Okay, so this isn't working. It doesn't look right. And I'll tell you what I think why is because we have an even number now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that doesn't work. So I'm going to go with that one because it stands out more. I'll glue it up. And I'll stick these in here. Just that they should be green, and if I was going to take the time, I would, but, this is already like almost an hour long. But there we go. There we go. There is the triple twisted easel card. Number 3 from the Red Library. Number 3. All right, everybody, if you like my video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you join me again. Bye-bye now.